people to join in.
Look at all the empty space. So I can't wait for this website to be redesigned and built.
Oh, probably my it's probably my resolution too. You know, because and everyone's always a lot more critical of their own things than even the general public, I find. But I think it looks great, and I think it's really fun having all the little Yetis running around.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Of course, you're right. Everyone's always more self-critical than anything.
Yeah.
But we are currently in the process of redesigning the website and the app, and it looks a lot nicer and cleaner and just more professional and sophisticated and whatnot. And so I'm looking forward to us implementing and releasing it.
Yeah, awesome. Do you guys have a and by the way, we're live now. We got some. I see we have some people joining in. Do you have a timeline for your guys' website relaunch or a quarter or anything like that for us to keep an eye on?
Oh well, yeah. Basically, the website redesign is essentially complete. We're basically just missing a few illustrations. But the whole layout, the color scheme, the new font, a newer, cleaner, flatter logo, it's all been designed. We've got a new front-end engineer who's going to be implementing that as well. So as long as it takes the engineer to implement it, so I don't like to...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You never tend to hit them, but...
No, that's fine, but it sounds like it's going to be coming up pretty soon, which is cool. Well, hey everybody, we have Cakemonster on here. We have been talking with them for a number of months now, and what started off very much as what are we looking at here has now turned into something we're very excited about, because this is one of those projects that's doing something really novel and really innovative in the space. So we're really excited to be partnering with them. Obviously, we're going to be covering all of the earnings opportunities, as well as the whole idea and the whole model behind Cakemonster, and I will hand it over to the rep we have here from the Cakemonster team. If you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe a high level of Cakemonster, and then we can kind of dig into the product.
Certainly. Thank you, Philip. So I'm Byron. I am one of the core team members. I've been around really since day one. And basically, sorry, someone sent me a message saying my volume's not good enough. I don't know. Can you hear me okay, Philip?
All right, there we go. I just turned. I can hear you fine. I just turned you up on the stream, so we can go ahead and try it again here.
Brilliant. Okay, so. Yes, I'm Byron. I'm one of the core team members. Basically, I've been around pretty much since day one. I do quite a lot of like the product design and that kind of thing, and general project management. And yeah, I mean, as for Cakemonster, well, this is going to be a real 1,000-foot overview of the whole thing. But fundamentally, Cakemonster is a deflationary protocol. We use the transaction tax to buy a secondary token, a secondary asset, and we add that to a vault. We store that secondary asset, which is Cake, PancakeSwap's token, in this vault, and basically, after a certain amount of time, which would be the end of the cycle, that vault is opened and it's shared with all MONSTA holders. And basically the idea behind having this separate token in a separate vault, differing from the protocol token, which is MONSTA, was basically to give the protocol value beyond itself. Then we're also looking to go into becoming a multi-asset vault, so that would be adding extra tokens to the vault, so we're not then dependent on price fluctuations of Cake, etc., etc., and lots of other things. And so people along the way can also claim dividends of this cake that's in the vault at certain deflation periods. And if you have, we have NFTs, and if you hold NFTs, then you can claim dividends, etc., etc. So there's lots and lots of little intricate things and ways that you can earn along the way, whilst basically being assured that at the end of the cycle you're going to have a huge chunk of whatever assets are in the vault proportionate to your monster holdings at the end. Now, that's the protocol. We also have Monster Party NFTs, which are basically a side project, a sister project, which are also here to help bolster the protocol and basically give utility to the Monster token. So they started out as being basically just generative art PFPs. I'll just add in here that collection was the first generative art NFT collection to be launched in space. So we sent a plushie of the monster up via a balloon, and basically had a screen up there, and it displayed everyone's Monster Party NFTs up there for the first time they were ever seen and revealed in space. So that was a world's first, and that was good fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So then with the Monster Party, that's really sort of where we're adding play to earn aspects to the whole protocol, and basically we've already developed and released one chain game relating to those NFTs, but we're going to do other chain games. And coming up, there's going to be an arcade where people with Monster Party NFTs can play actual games, kind of like platform games, let's say.
Yeah. And
also earn Monster there as well. So that's going to be more. There's going to be chain games, but there's also going to be actual games where you can earn. So that's a high level overview.
Yeah. Awesome. No, thanks for that. That's really great. And yeah, so when we talk about kind of what they're trying to do here, and especially now that they've launched their multi-farm, definitely what I would suggest, and if that wasn't made clear there, part of the idea here is that when you buy MONSTA token or when you earn MONSTA token, you are entitled to a certain portion of, and correct me if I say any of this wrong, but you're entitled to a proportional amount of all of the cake that has ever been accumulated through these buybacks, through the taxes. Like, for example, it appears like, here we go. My MONSTA holdings are, I only have a small amount, 0.0038, when the vault opens in 467 days. I would be entitled to that much cake, and I can be also deploying all of this. And actually, I wonder, does the amount that I have in staking, I know we weren't going to delve too much into staking right now, but does the amount I have in the staking pools get reflected in that sort of vault interface, or because I'm just curious if it's based on my available MONSTA or if it's the accumulation of all of my baked and staked MONSTA. Maybe you can help me understand that.
Yeah, I would love to help you understand that. That's a question that we'll answer on Friday with the other AMA.
Cool. So you got to stay tuned then.
Theoretically, it should. I haven't tested that aspect of it myself to tell you definitively whether it does or it doesn't.
Right, and that's fine. And really, the whole point that I was even trying to make there too is that the game here, to me, on a high level, this 1,000-foot level is accumulate as much MONSTA token as you can until that vault gets released, because all of this cake that is being stored in this vault will then be sent back to the holders. And all the while, you can be, obviously earning through the staking interface, which, again, we'll learn more about. They have NFT staking too. There's these crumbs. Can you tell me a little bit more about the cake crumbs and, this, when we get to making the cake crumbs and that whole deal?
Yes, certainly. So the crumbs basically, with every transaction, we use some of the tax to buy this cake and add it to the vault. The crumbs are basically sort of intermediary rewards before the vault opens at the end of the cycle. So every time the supply deflates by 1%, then people can claim their crumbs. And that's fundamentally it. So the crumbs aren't related to the NFTs.
Right. Or the vault even.
Correct. Yes, but we do have. But it's quite complicated. But basically, there are some NFTs. There are Monster Party NFTs that we launched into space. That's totally separate from the original Diamond Claw NFTs.
Yes, right.
That are part of the Cakemonster protocol. Now they, depending on your level, there are 5 levels of those NFTs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they basically give.
And I'm navigating over to where people can buy some, by the way. So go keep describing it. I'll just keep pulling stuff up as you're talking about it.
So yeah, so basically, they allow you to make the kitchen faster, because this is another way that you can earn money within the protocol. All the transaction tax is collected, and after a certain point, anyone can go in there and basically click a button within the UI, and that will perform a series of actions. Some of those actions being buying the cake and adding it to the vault. So we need people to interact in order for the whole protocol to keep running, right? So as a reward for people clicking that button, they get some monster dividends. So if you hold one of these NFTs, it allows you to do that more frequently or sooner than other people who don't, et cetera, et cetera. But the best of those NFTs is this level 5, the purple one that was just on screen.
Yeah.
And basically, if you have an activated level 5 Diamond Claw NFT, then every 3 days you can claim some other cake dividends that are basically all the cake that we have in our vault. We staked it in a PancakeSwap syrup pool, and the rewards we get from there is then distributed to those Diamond Claw NFT holders. So that means, obviously, the more cake we have in our vault, the greater those dividends become on a daily basis. So these Diamond Claw NFTs, particularly the level 5 in particular, become more valuable over time, because obviously our cake vault grows, and so do those dividends grow and that kind of thing. So, the first dividends that came was something like 1.5, I think, 1.5 cake a day, and now every 3 days, and now it's over 3. It's something like 3.2 or something like that. So, over time, it'll pay to hold these NFTs and have them activated.
Yeah, and you mentioned, and you kind of laughed that it's so complicated, and but one thing that I'll add is there's a certain benefit in this space, especially in the DeFi kind of centric space. There's a certain benefit to protocols being more complex, because that in itself has its own sort of inherent strategies involved then. And it also makes it a lot harder to sort of min-max, which from our experience makes it a lot harder to bot and things like that. And just makes it more of a fun experience. Like, oh wow, like I've really figured this out. Like someone could really spend a lot of time in your guys' app, trying to fine tune their holdings. It's and hey, is it worth it to buy the diamond claw NFT, and let me try this out. And then of course there's an active liquid market. If you find out it doesn't work out, you can go on one of the many secondary marketplaces and sell it back or what have you. And also I love the transparency, and I love the level of ownership of the protocol by the users, in the sense that I know that down the line in your guys, and I'm not sure how close you are to this yet, might be very close, or might be after the first vault unlocking, but I know that eventually it's going to be turning the entire protocol over to a governance DAO, and relinquishing control. And what's really cool is that I can already see the ways that you guys are facilitating that, in the sense of right now there's some kind of centralized aspects that you kind of have to, okay, great, we have all of this cake, and now we have to, send it over to the syrup pool so that we can have these rewards for the NFT holders. And of course, that can probably be automated down the line too if it's not already. And then on top of that, you guys have all these really cool features that you guys, as the owners of the protocol, are integrating into it, like MONSTA Party. I was currently just like, oh, you don't have a MONSTA Party NFT, let's go find one. I was like looking at the floor price, so I'm like ready to pull the trigger on one now. And the only reason I haven't is because now I want to do my research. Like, oh wow, so there's these here's these different IDs. I know if I go here, I can check out the rarity tables. So now I'm like, okay, what's like my how can I game this as much as possible to sort of get the most rare one, not just like a floor price one. So you've totally got me hooked. And of course I love the ideas behind all of these too. And naturally I was most inclined to want to buy the one that is I think this is on the info page, that there he is, the burned token Yeti, but
it's the best one.
Yeah,
I've got to say, guys, anyone watching, we are currently redesigning this application, so very soon this thing's going to look sweet and professional. I mean, I'm looking at your screen, Philip, and I'm like, holy shit, it looks like that on high resolution screens. But anyway, but to touch on what you were saying about the complexity being of interest to people, in terms of them being able to try and figure out whether it's worth doing X, Y, and Z. That's really going to be kicked up a gear now. With a big part of that is with staking, and as I said, I'm not really going to go too much into that because that'll be Friday. But with staking, that introduces a whole other level of dynamics to the protocol, because of course, not only do you have the two separate staking pools and people can try and figure out whether it's worth staking in them, but also there are going to be liquidity pools with, say, MONSTA and B MONSTA pairs and MONSTA and S MONSTA pairs. So then there's going to be arbitrage. It's really it's going to be laden with game theory, let's say. But that's one half of it. But the other half is with MONSTA Party as well. So MONSTA Party at the moment is basically there's two things that you can do to play there. So you've got the NFTs and they have their traits and that gives them the rarity and stuff. Yeah. But you can feed your NFTs, your MONSTA Party NFTs, and feeding them gives you experience points, PXP. The higher your experience points are, the more MONSTA dividends you get, right? So that was the initial little game that we basically implemented when we launched these things. Yeah. Recently, we just launched a game, the first chain game, which we called Robber Monster. So basically, you hunt around and find monsters that haven't claimed their dividends, and then you can initiate a robbery, and you have 15 minutes to basically rob this monster, right? And at that moment, alerts go off everywhere. There's some on Twitter, some on Telegram and whatnot. And you can then go, you yourself, not being someone who didn't initiate the robbery, should I say, can then go and try and rob that monster as well. And then basically each robber's given a probability, and then someone will win it and get to rob all the dividends from that monster and take some of the experience points as well. So that was our first little chain game. But then we're going even further, right? So this was always in the design partly. So these first MONSTA Party NFTs that you see are Gen Zeros, right? Yeah. And basically at 10,000 experience points, you can then level up and get a Gen 1, right? So the designs for the Gen 1s are completed now. And basically these Gen 1s will give you access to the arcade, which is what we're currently designing. And this isn't a chain game. This is basically, you get access to this and you play like some platform game type thing, like a temple run type skill game. And it will then take your score and add it into a table in the back end, etc., and you just keep playing. And at the end of the play period, your cumulative scores will be calculated and compared with everyone else's, and then you will be paid a proportion of your earnings of the monster, right? So that's another aspect, but I'm not going to reveal too much right now. But there are going to be some other aspects to that could allow other people who don't have Gen 1s to also play, which will also play into sort of like the game theory of the Cakemonster protocol itself. So it's like sort of what the intention is really to turn this whole Cakemonster protocol and Monster Party NFT project into almost like it's a self-contained ecosystem, right? Where the games and things that you're playing on Monster Party are benefiting the Monster token and the Cakemonster protocol, and vice versa. So as the Monster Party, the Cakemonster protocol and the Monster price appreciates, then also goes with a feedback loop back into Monster Party, etc., etc. So all that stuff is the Monster Party stuff. The arcade is basically being built right now. We have the games, the back end's built, the front end's built, and we're just kind of connecting it up and basically ensuring, that people can't cheat and play the game if they don't have the required amount of experience points, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really shaping up nicely.
Yeah, awesome. And so these rewards, so I do have a monster, you probably saw it now, and I fed him a little bit. I've earned some monster token. What is kind of the maybe the high level of the sort of gamification? So how, what's the best way for me to start climbing these leaderboards, let's say?
Right now, so these leaderboards are basically for who's got the highest experience points.
Right.
So right now, the way for you to gain experience points is, first of all, you get 5 experience points free daily. Secondly is feeding your monster. There's different feeds that you can buy, and that will give you more experience points. And thirdly is playing Rob a Monster, where you rob experience points from the victim. And then, as I mentioned, with the arcade, you'll be able to play that, earn monster, and earn experience points as well. And those experience points, the more of them that you have, the more dividends you get. So, again, there's kind of this synergy between the experience points and the monster that you can earn.
Yeah, awesome.
The game.
And if you, where is the link for the Rob a Monster?
Right.
There too.
So if you go to rarity, yeah, it's this definitely needs improving. So click on one of those monsters.
Sure.
Right, and then click on Rob. And then there's almost always a robbery in progress. So you can't rob that one because someone else is being robbed right now.
Yep, so I gotta go around and find someone who isn't currently being, especially if they're, obviously...
No, you can click that rob button now. If you click the rob button, it'll take you to the robbery and you can participate if you want.
Okay, yeah, join the robbery. Okay, awesome. Sounds good. All right, it's got some music. I hear some Foo Fighters. That's good. That'll get my stream banned. Here, I'm actually going to real quick. Probably.
Choose no music at the top, I think.
There we go. I just don't want us to get our stream to get. We won't be able to upload it. Okay, so all right. So I'm gonna choose my rapper. So it's this little cute princess that I got. Okay. Let's confirm.
But yeah, we purposely made it difficult for people to find the victims. We want people to have to click around and work for it. And some of these dividends that have been unclaimed have been pretty big. I think there's been some over 60,000, 70,000. So it pays to put the time and effort in. And obviously there's little bits of game aspects to that as well. You choose the right time when you think everyone's asleep to start a robbery, because obviously the more people attempting to rob at the same time, the less chance you have of winning.
Yeah, right.
So it's you against this guy head to head. So fingers crossed Princess wins.
And then in 7 minutes, it will, the robbery will finish, right? Okay, we got some more people because naturally I'm streaming. This is like the last thing that you would want to do when you're trying to rob someone, right? is
And
live
also,
stream it.
these two guys are going to kick your ass as well. I mean, their experience points are huge. You've not really got many, so
Yep.
Could be, if you win, this is going to be a miracle. So I'm rooting for you, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I know, I love it, and you know, it reminds me a lot of kind of what we're working on, like with a player versus player system, which is very much like because as you know, it's there aren't very many products and protocols that are doing this sort of player versus player on a layer one. You know, like we're not talking like, oh, we have this cool game, blah blah blah. It's, you know, play it in the web, and then eventually you'll get some tokens. Like this is all layer one. Each person here is making a transaction, is confirming their participation in this robbery, and I love that about it because I'm very much into like complete layer one games. Obviously like CryptoBlades, like this, because I see this as kind of the sort of mud phase of gaming, you know, where way back when 30 years ago you would go through these dungeon crawlers where it's all just text based, and you know, you're getting feedback, and oh, you ran into a wall, or oh, you ran into a monster, what do you want to do next? And it's a very slow, deliberate pace of gameplay. But you know, this is like another way to put it is kind of like we're in the dial-up phase of blockchain, you know. And to me, that's just very exciting. It is seeing the kinds of innovations that can create fun experiences that are completely layer one like this. And so I'm definitely going to be hopping on here frequently and trying to rob people and leveling up my character. I did feast a little bit, so I did grab some of that, and it sounds like my experience is going to go up as I rob people too, right?
Yes, you'll steal their PXP, their experience points as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, but it's you're right. These sort of like these chain games, you can do some fun things with them, and as you say, it's sort of like entry level to gaming.
Yeah, right.
But it kind of it's kind of a good balance and sort of like fits in with the ethos of just crypto and DeFi in general, because you know, you don't want to make things, you know, like play to earns, you know, like the buzzword or the phrase. And I think, you know, at a certain point, if things become too complex or you have to dedicate too much time into repetitive tasks, etc., to earn, then the focus is more on earning and less on fun, and it becomes less about playing and more about earning. And I think this is these simplistic games are quite a decent balance. You know, you click a couple of buttons, it's kind of fun, the concept's fun that you're stealing from someone.
Yeah.
And you're also earning along the way. So I think it's quite a nice balance and simple nature of it.
Yeah, and I like that you kind of labeled it like a sister product. I mean, we're very much in that realm now too, where we can have one product be a standalone thing, right? So I could participate in Cakemonster and just take part in these different rewards, maybe the original NFT, and you know, being able to hop in the kitchen and see if I can, you know, click that make button and get some rewards there, obviously staking, things like that. And then at the end of the day, you know, the big long the full 2-year vault unlocking is great. And what's cool is that this allows you to create all these other different kinds of experiences within, for one, the trust umbrella of the protocol, right? People are building trust in your guys' products because you're delivering. Like, you're consistently putting out really cool features. You know, you're talking about completely redesigning everything. Like, you have a lot of pride in this product. And then additionally, you know, I can be running around having fun because I just want a more gamified experience. And so, you know, that makes complete sense to me. And yeah, this person has a decent amount of unclaimed here, but and that one's actually ending in 2 minutes. And so, and I can't rob multiple people at once, right? I can maybe get more of these monsters and then start to rob more people. But additionally, there's that sort of time gate where if I want to be robbing people consistently, I'm going to have to be active kind of throughout the day, robbing them, getting my experience higher, and then is it equivalent to the experience on who wins? Is it just like a pool of experience for who wins, would you say?
Yeah, basically, it's relative between the robbers' experience points in participating in the robbery. So if you've got two experience points and I've got one, then you have double the chance of winning. Type thing.
All right, cool. No, that makes complete sense to me. No, that's very cool. Is there anything else that you want to kind of share with everybody? We're coming up on the end here. We're a couple minutes over, but totally fine because here I am asking you to explain this to me live, and I'm having fun. Is there anything else that you want to direct us over to that you guys are really excited about that people can be aside from we will be directing people on Friday to come learn more about the staking, because we want people to take these tokens that they're earning on CryptoBlades and be able to redeploy those and really multiply their earnings. But aside from that, anything else we haven't covered that you wanted to talk about with everyone today?
Yeah. There's one other thing. It's not really protocol specific, but something that pretty much the whole team's excited about, and that's phase 7 of the initial roadmap was to basically start doing something called Cakemonster for Good, which was going to be a charity. Now, the initial intention was to obviously do that at phase 7, etc., etc. But to be honest, we don't really feel like there's any time in waiting. We can definitely make a difference in some of the things, and I read a few articles recently, and globally, hundreds of millions more people are dying of starvation due to various things related to COVID and supply chain disruptions and all that kind of thing. Starvation in Yemen and many other places around the world, and so we wanted to start with this initiative. So soon we're going to launch this Cakemonster for Good. Basically, we're going to start small. We're going to basically one of the team members said a brilliant way of describing how it's going to go, which is going to be we'll start doing basically donations for people, buying people food on a one-to-one basis, then a one-to-many basis, and then a one-to-all basis. So basically meaning that we'll be finding individuals in impoverished areas. We've got contacts in Venezuela, in South Africa, some of the townships, in India as well, where we'll be making differences in impoverished families' lives, etc. That would be one-to-one on an individual basis. The next step, and probably we'll be doing it at the same time, but due to the logistics being a little bit more complex and whatnot, and it take a bit more time to organize, though we are going to start ASAP, would be one-to-many. So that would be where we'd be feeding schools and that kind of thing. And then one-to-all, that is the grand vision. We certainly can't afford it right now. But that would be really sort of like helping out with infrastructure and that kind of thing to allow whole communities to be able to produce food for themselves and whatnot. So it's kind of like a lofty goal. It's something that we wanted to do right from day one. And just feels like there's no time like the present. So we're going to kick off that initiative soon. We're just about finished with the Medium article explaining it and the poster, etc. And then we'll get that started. So yeah, we're all really excited with that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing. And that's really great to see and to know that, like when you're participating in something like this, obviously everybody's wanting to make good, financial decisions, have fun while doing it, and then to help people, it's kind of like the big three, that you can be helping people while you do those other things as well. And that's definitely enough motivation for me to continue interacting and having fun, and definitely better than knowing it's all just going into some, sort of black hole. And it'll be great to follow it too, to be able to some real action, right, and be able to participate in that. And so I'm excited to kind of see where that goes, especially once this is all kind of turned over, to see how this whole decentralized mechanism goes with a fully decentralized protocol. But yeah, that's really great. Definitely looking forward to seeing that article. Obviously, we'll be pumping that out to everybody who's in our community and who's listening right now. So I think other than that, I think that's what we've got. So this is Monster Party, everybody. Go and check it out. If you need, if you love digging, diving in deep to seeing how all of this is working, definitely check out their docs. It goes into a lot more detail on how all of this works, on the Gravity Vault, on the protocols taxing and burning, and how they're obtaining and why they're obtaining cake. I definitely recommend you look into this, because I think that they're really onto something here, and I'm so happy to see their protocol flourishing like this, and even more so to be able to offer their tokens to you guys in the multi-farm. So thanks a ton, Byron, for hopping on and showing us everything, and I can't wait to chat next time.
Yep, likewise, Philip. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.
All right, everybody. So that's Monster Party. Super excited about that. We've been talking with them for a few months now. I'm definitely looking forward to. I got to see how my robbery went. Right. Let's check that out. Let's check that out. Let's see where I'm. Let's see if I got lucky. I don't think so. My monster is not super strong right now. I have to do a lot more robberies in order to win there. So, all right, if I go to rarity, the real kicker is how do I get back to the guy that I was trying to rob? I think it was this guy, wasn't it? I'll need to check that out some more. I'm definitely, oh, here we go. Here's also some, yeah, see, okay, I did not win anything. I have no PXP here. So, but that's okay, because I will keep playing and leveling this guy up, and hopefully the people who have been playing nonstop don't just continue to jump on me whenever I'm trying to rob. Maybe I'll just make a claim out in their Discord and Telegram, like, hey, this one's mine. 11:32. Is that what it was? Yep. Awesome. Yep, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. No, I love it. But yeah, there's so much going on here. We're going to keep talking about this and keeping you guys up to speed with it, just because there's just when think you've got it all figured out, they go and release something like Monster Party and Rob a Monster and all that good stuff. But there's definitely a lot of gamified aspects here, so really glad to be able to introduce you guys to that. So if you want to take part, definitely bring those tokens back over to Cakemonster and multiply your earnings, I would say, because there's lots of different dividend opportunities here. So with all that said, I'm going to switch it back over to CryptoBlades for a little bit. How are you guys liking the quest system so far? Are you guys participating, and what chains are you on, and who's got the most reputation here so far on the quests? Nice, awesome. Yeah, great. I know, I'm so excited, guys. That's one that it went through a lot of different sort of variations over time, and there we go. It went through a lot of different variations over time, and now we have this super flexible system that we can be. I like. If Cakemonster is still on, you guys can hold me to this. But one thing I would love to do is set up a quest to, for example, go retrieve a Monster Party NFT, right? Because the whole idea here is that players can be that we can be incentivizing activity in all different kinds of GameFi protocols. Because as I've mentioned in the past, you know, with the with us working on the Launchpad and the DAO, we very much want to be offering more and more incentives for these games that we're partnering with. And so imagine being able to buy a Monster Party NFT and then come out here and okay, 4-star, sweet. I'm gonna get a quest here for let's see, who's my best guy? Ertund. I think he's my ID number 1 guy. Interesting. Yeah. Yep, that definitely is interesting with the gas there, and I can probably hop on my Hiko as well. Actually, I'll go on OEC. Oh, I have a mouse pad. I'm reorganizing, which basically means my entire office is a mess. I'm also probably not going to be using this laptop much longer anyways, because it's so dang loud. Every single time I have to like move everything around and everyone's like, oh cool, your computer fan is just jamming over there. I'm like, yeah, can't get it to shut up. You just got the office tour. That's it. That's the whole office. I know, I even moved over here and it's just like, oh my gosh, can't get it to shut up. Now it's a little bit quieter. All right. Let's head over to one of our other accounts here. Do some quest. Trying to get the 4-star. Also, all these ads are going to be swapped over as soon as Kyle gets to it. Because he loves getting bugged, so I'm going to call him out. Except he's not even the one who's going to do it, most likely, but... The pay to win. How do I buy a MONSTA? So go to MONSTA.party. So it's app.monsta.party, and you can it'll have some links there to buy them. Why are Google ads showing up? Oh, because that's one of the ad servicers that we've used. And sorry, for some reason it's not letting me message it to you. I'm trying to send you, but you can go to it. app.monsta.party. I'm not even the person to ask about licenses. All right, now we're good. I could get a 2-star. 560. Okay. Or maybe I should just skip this one because I can like buy other stuff if I want to, right? I could skip it and then I can get something that doesn't require like 2 days for me to complete it for a 2-star. Man, this whole system is great. Like I want to really focus on the intention behind our development team and the team at large is this is like an entirely new game, right? It's a feature, but every tab that you guys see here is like an entirely new protocol that we're developing. Okay, here we go. See, 2-star weapon. I'm gonna get 10 rep. I'm gonna get 2-star junk. That's great. Let's I probably have a 2-star weapon. I'm sure there we go. Or not. Oh, wait a second. I guess it's only a 1-star? Do I only need to turn in a 1-star? Did I read that wrong? Or is it 2 1-stars? Or am I just reading it entirely wrong? 2 1-star weapons. See? That's what happens when I can't read. Worst quest immediately. I thought so. I was like, that's not what I was not what I was going for. Oh, but what I was saying is this is an entirely new game, essentially. Like, all based on not tokens, but NFTs and things like that. Yeah, just very, very excited for what's to come with quests and this whole gamified system as a whole. Because what this protocol allows us to do is, obviously, these are incentives which we're giving out to you guys, but any protocol, any project can have their NFTs incentivized through this, or participation in their protocol incentivized. For example, I mean, we could even have B-Monster or some LP that we can have you guys hold and get a quest for providing LP or things like that. Like, it's a whole new system that we have here, which is just sick. In fact, I think I would love to have the Hello Next just have one section for quests, right? Because we have this admin panel and we can put all kinds of different things and doodads in it, and it really would be cool to see what the most creative ideas for these quests are. Obviously, there's going to be quests for maybe sending skill, holding skill, staking skill, lots of tools here for us to utilize in order to increase the value of your NFTs, increase the value of your characters, increase the value of our tokens, other NFTs. Completely configurable system. So I did one of those. I was pretty dumb not to submit 2 of them at once. The interface doesn't really let you mess up, which is yeah, it's definitely designed for dummies like me. Love it. So yeah, I just wanted to spend some time with you guys here on this quest system and see what we can get. And if you haven't participated in quests yet, yeah, you're in for it because there's a lot going on here. Yeah, so Cakemonster team, like I said, hold me to it. We're gonna create some quests around MONSTA Party, NFTs, LPs, MONSTA token, you name it. Like we can do it. You know, we're just trying to have fun here, trying to create a really innovative protocol, much like you guys. And I'm going to complete this quest. Let's do it. When video tutorial quests? Great question. I believe the marketing team is already on it. If they're not, they will be. They're totally on top of everything. We definitely value putting out some good, interesting stuff on the YouTube channel. So you can of course wait to hear it. But ask your favorite influencers. You know, I mean, obviously that's beneficial for me, but it's really beneficial for everybody. Like, ask your favorite influencers. Like, hey, CryptoBlades just came out with this quest system. Why don't you do an overview of it? Like, I would love to see, you know, what we're doing here. You know, I would love to see like what your thoughts are on it. And like, let's just spread this far and wide. This is a very cool thing that's happening here. Awesome. I got 2 2-star junks. Yeah, they definitely said that. And of course, 10 rep. Do 1 raid. How does, so that'll be about an 8-hour. Well, let's see. How long do we have for the next raid? We got 80 raiders on there. Finishes 620. That's a while. I mean, I could. It's not so bad. It's not so bad, and I can get obviously some good loot from it. I'll do it because no, I'll do one more quest. I'll do one more quest first before I do 1 or 2 more quests. I just want to see a couple of these options. When can we upgrade our founder shield? Think of this quest system as kind of not that this allows you to upgrade it, but just know that when it comes to some of these features for like the founder shields and stuff like that, and PvP in general, you know, we're definitely building a framework for perform X and XYZ action on an NFT, get XYZ reward. So stay tuned. That's still on the roadmap. Thank you for asking. It is happening. It's just a matter of wanting to get some things off of our plate first. Like, we just had major rollout with the Bazaar Marketplace, major rollout with quests. I mean, obviously you can see how big this feature is. PvP, we just released, I'm going to head over there now, actually. We just released some massive updates to PvP. If you're not playing PvP on OEC yet, get there, because this is, you know, Chris, maybe you can answer this question too, as far as, you know, when we might plan to go to mainnet. But my understanding is we have just about everything out on OEC right now. Or is it testnet? Are we on testnet or are we on OEC? Because now it's like almost like OEC is kind of like our intermediary step. But what's the problem with staking? I'm not sure. If there's a problem, let me know. Whether it be a skill buyback. There are constantly skill buybacks, so yes. All right, 2 2-star weapons. All right, let's do this. And thank you, Dan, for chiming in on that. So that's great. And what Dan's talking about is the ranking point change. So the idea here is, I'll use Cakemonster as an analogy. We'll keep that going. So I had a very small percent chance of robbing that monster, right? What's cool, and one of the ways that this sort of scales and allows people to catch up and ranking points is if I have a very low percent chance of beating somebody because maybe they have a much better sword than I do, a much better shield, maybe I have a 1% chance, I'm going to get a huge amount of ranking points because the chance of me having a victory was so little. And so you can actually jump up in the leaderboards quite a lot, even if you're not a very strong character. So it's kind of like a lottery for lower level or lower power characters. And this even allows for sort of gamification of lower tier items being used in PvP. So, it's a legitimate strategy. Even if you have a 5-star shield, you're going to get more consistent earnings if you have like a 5-star shield, 5-star blade. But you can earn sort of these, what I call lottery earnings through the leaderboard if you go in with a 5-star weapon and a 1-star shield. And you can, maybe it takes 100 times, but you'll win, and then boom, you'll like be shot up in the leaderboards. So that's one more element that we're getting added into OEC just to help with the balancing and make it a little bit more fun and gamified in a way that's not just predictable, right? That's the whole idea here. So I'm going to hop on to PvP in a minute, actually, because as Dan mentioned, it's actually already live, the adjustments to power for the weapons and shields and things like that. So you guys can kind of see that there's more opportunities there. So if anyone here watching is on OEC, I mean, you can hop in without a shield even, and you could still win some battles. So that's the idea, is you're going to have a much higher win rate with better equipment, but it will be possible to win still with lower level equipment, which is what we were trying to do. All right, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so head over there. I don't even remember what shield. Actually, on OEC, I believe I have quite a good shield, but let's just see what's going on here. And of course, I'm a level 1. So what's cool too about these rankings is the level 1 bracket is significantly more equalized when it comes to gear. So if I were to go into like the level 40 bracket, which I might actually do, my gear matters more. But if you're a level 1 and you head into PvP, you can't just smurf it, is kind of what the idea is. Like we want to give the lower level players a little bit more of a fighting chance here. So, and of course, for those of you that aren't aware, the level brackets kind of work like level 1 to level 10, level 11 to level 20, so that you don't have that main big power boost. All right, I'm going to equip some stuff. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Okay, I'll do a 2-star shield. Yes, I understand. I'm taking a huge risk. Cakemonster's just probably never going to leave the stream now. Just like joining in every time we stream. Fire emoji. Love to see it. What's up with MONSTAs? So if you didn't see, we do record all these, put them on YouTube. You can check it all out. Cakemonster has a whole bunch of awesome updates coming out. There's lots of earning opportunities. There's this really cool vault where it's like at the end of this 2-year period, like millions of dollars are going to be distributed to the MONSTA token holders, which is freaking awesome. So I will be silently accumulating. And of course, as I mentioned, Cakemonster, they're just a staple of the stream now. They're not going anywhere. So you got any Cakemonster questions, you can ask them. You can ask Cakemonster official right here, which is great. I love it. Okay. Here's me never confirming transactions, entering the arena.